Okay, it's a bit noisy in here, but we have some things to open. My friend Ren, that I actually met here on YouTube, sent a package. We send them back and forth from time to time. I kind of already peeked in this, so I haven't fully opened it, so I don't know everything. But a pretty little Christmas card. And she wrote me a little letter that I'll read here in a bit. Oh, Isla, she gave you a gift. Well, I'll read you the note after you open it. Oh, this was to you too. Look. Do you know who that is? That's strawberry shortcake. And it says, to Isla from Miss Wren, I hope you and Mama have fun making a pretty cake with this. So we'll make us a strawberry shortcake cake. It's a train. That's so sweet.
This is strawberry shortcake right there, Isla.
Yeah, it is. Cute little snowman. I haven't started decorating for Christmas yet, but we will. Oh, this is for Jack.
Jackie.
Oh, these are Christmas presents to y'all. Jackie, you got a present. This one's for Jack. Oh my goodness, that's so cute.
I'm loving that.
That is so cute.
That is totally gonna be me. Oh, they're little hooks. It doesn't come apart.
Oh, Jackie, little sleeper.
Oh.
With dinosaurs. So cute, Jackie. And some Christmas cards. Those are beautiful and just my style.
Look at it. It's hooks.
To my sweet friend Elizabeth from Ren. She got me one too. See what Mama got. We need to send them Christmas gifts, don't we? See, Daisy. Oh my goodness. I didn't see the tear on the side of this. I think you can fix it or use the material for something else. Can you pull the face? Oh yes I can with that ruffle edge. A lot of mine have little holes or tears in it just because that's just what happens. So it'll be just fine. I can mend it. Look how pretty.
Ooh.
Look at that edge. Yeah, Mama loves that.
Is it ripped?
She said it is, but oh, and it's on a seam. Oh, definitely I can fix that. That is no big deal. Yeah, that's on a seam. I can fix that. That is so pretty. Mama loves that. Let's see what else.
Is there something else for me?
Oh.
Wow, it's too big. It's too big.
This is to make your butter pretty when you make it. Very old. Ooh, butter ball. Oh, and it says butter ball. That's so cute. Ooh, Mama's excited about that.
Oh,
ooh, that's pretty.
Hang
on, there's something else in here. I think that one just came unwrapped. Yep.
Same.
Pretty.
Where is it?
More stuff. Oh my gosh, we have this mug because I bought it. I bought it because it reminded me of y'all. And it reminded her of y'all too. I don't know what, I wonder what mine says. I wonder what my little mug says. I need to go look. So I have this mug that I don't remember where I got it, but I got this mug because it reminded me of my kids. So that's hilarious because it's the same Country Kids Collectors. Oh my goodness. This one says be my Valentine, so I don't know. It must be the, sorry if it's noisy. It must be like their, whatever their theme was, because this one has little hearts and he's holding a little candy thing. But this one's gardening. So, I don't know. Maybe it was with the collection, but those are the same. That's so funny and so cute. Super sweet. We'll put that out in her room at Christmas. Red-headed angel. I also got an early birthday present from my friend. I thought it was so sweet too. So this cute little basket, which I imagine a certain little girl is going to try and steal from me. First up was a Christmas little book. Now, anything like these little romance books, Hallmark inspired books are right up my alley. And then last year I went on and on about these butter cookies. So she grabbed me a tin of these. I hide these in my room for just me because I don't like to share them. But I get these every Christmas, so I'm actually going to have these early.
I want some.
Sewing machine cover, which I desperately need because Jack keeps getting into my sewing machine because it's lower. So, got a little ladybug. That's cute, isn't it, Bug?
Yeah.
And the little sewing machine. So I'm very excited to put this on my sewing machine. For supper tonight, we are gonna have one of my favorite things. I've been thinking about it for a while and I keep forgetting like to add it into our rotation. We've had chili this fall, but when I was a little girl, we used to eat chili with cinnamon rolls. It was specifically like in the school cafeteria kind of a thing. And my mom and I talk about it all the time now. And we're like, we really need to do that because that is such like a nostalgic meal for us. So that is what we're having for supper tonight. Miss Aladon is over here coloring. I'm gonna go ahead and get my dough rising for cinnamon rolls. And I've got a pot of beans going in the slow cooker on high, and then I'll make the chili, you know, here later this afternoon. But I'm gonna go ahead and get all this going because the cinnamon rolls I can have done and then just kind of warm them back up a little bit. So, y'all know I share my bread recipe all the time. And it came from an old family cookbook. I talked about it in Front Porch Life magazine, their spring, I think it's spring 2025 issue. And I have the recipe, I've shared the recipe on here. But I was going through this cookbook from my women's group that we did several years ago. And in it, I didn't know this, but in it, my mom had put a bread recipe. Now, y'all know she is gluten-free now, so she can't quite make these the same. But I remember her making these for us once I saw this. And so this was adapted from a recipe that was in a family cookbook that was from her family. And then this is hers that she used to make for me as a kid. So they're very, very similar. The only difference is she does double the yeast, and I actually made these the other day exactly as written here, and they were actually way better. So she does double the yeast, and I think that's one of the things that made them really soft and fluffy and give the flavor that I liked in them. And then she also does a bit more flour and a bit more water, and I liked like the size of the rolls and stuff that came from that. So everything else is the exact same. She just adds half a cup more flour, half a cup more water, and then she doubles the yeast. So I'm going to adapt mine to that. So everything else will stay the same in mine. So I'm really mixing these two recipes together to get the perfect bread recipe, and then we're gonna make cinnamon rolls out of them. We also, at our ladies group the other day, our meeting, we learned how to make cinnamon rolls from one of the best in the group, and she did give us a dough recipe, and it was very, very good, but it was also really similar to this. So I'm just gonna use what I know best and do these because the dough was the same, the ratio of ingredients was about the same. Hers just kind of was a little bit different. So she didn't have eggs and stuff in hers, and I like eggs in mine. We have a lot of eggs, so I need to use them. So I'm going to make these, but then I'm gonna do what she does for the rest of the cinnamon rolls. So let's get our dough going. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share this with y'all now because I don't normally do it this way, and I've shared my original recipe a lot, but I haven't shared it this way. Her recipe originally was actually like half of what I normally do, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it that way because we don't need a lot today. So I am gonna go ahead and do, like normally I say 5 to 6 cups of flour, it'll be 3.5 cups. It's the same recipe, it's just in half, and then adding that additional flour and all. So it's 1 cup of warm water.
What is the base?
Huh?
What is the base?
double yeast. I'm just adding more than I normally do. And then 2 tablespoons of our yeast. And then we're gonna add, she calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar. This is for dinner rolls, and when I make dinner rolls, normally I do a sweeter roll. And so I'm gonna do the same thing here. The dinner rolls work for any of your sweet, like a sweeter dough. It's not really sweet, but something that's going to be in like a sweeter dish. And then if I was gonna turn the same recipe into sandwich bread, I would only do 1/8 of a cup of sugar, which is 2 tablespoons. So that is how we would do that. Okay. Then my butter. Okay, so then I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of butter. So far it's been a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of yeast, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of butter, and then I'll do an egg. I'm gonna do 3½ cups of all-purpose flour while my butter melts.
Almost through this one. I'll take my own.
I'm gonna count that as a cup. And then 1 egg. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I think that's everything. Okay, so I will gather my thoughts on this, and then I will put this in the description for you if we end up liking this better than my regular. I will gather, the recipe and put it in the description below. Because I think this is gonna be the new go-to. This is why I can't have like a cookbook or anything, because I change my mind constantly. And I'm always looking to improve things. And I thought this bread recipe, my bread recipe was like the final, that's what I would do, and here we are. So I will put it in the description. I'm gonna let these rise just like I normally do. Once it's nice and fluffy and doubled, I will come back and roll them out and fill them with the cinnamon sugar, and then let them rise again and bake them.
Now I'm going to be making chili for tonight, and I don't have a really good chili recipe that I love. So if you have one, please leave it in the comments. But tonight I am just making the Pioneer Woman chili. It's one that has like cornmeal in it, which I find interesting. And it was okay. It didn't make a ton of chili, and it was just kind of an average chili in my opinion. So I am on the lookout for a good chili recipe. That is not something that I've yet found. I normally just throw a random amount of ground beef, beans, cumin, chili powder, and various garlic, onion, that kind of stuff all together and hope for the best. But I would like to be more consistent with it. So anyway, I am pulling my cinnamon rolls out and mixing up a quick glaze of powdered sugar, water, and vanilla. Maybe a pinch of salt, and then pouring that over the top for a cozy meal tonight.
He's smiling.
A couple of years ago, I made our jellied cranberry sauce from scratch, and we are not a whole berry family. That is not what we like, but the jellied cranberry sauce we love. And I made it for the first time here on YouTube, and I'll put that video in the description. I believe it has the recipe. If not, the recipe is going to be in the description of this video as well. But I am making up another batch this year because that one actually, I had canned it, and it lasted us a couple years. So now I am making it again. And so I pulled out my recipe. I'm also going to do a thinner version in a smaller pot to make up a cranberry syrup for coffee and tea. But of course, a certain little boy has to have a taste test before I get started.
Is it sour? Bite it. Go bite it. Look.
This is actually pretty simple, and it doesn't take that long if you do a small batch, which is what I'm doing here. It is no different than the whole berry. You just combine your water, your cranberries, a little bit of orange zest, and simmer that until they all pop open and cook a little bit. Then you blend them up. I like to use my immersion blender, strain it through a really fine mesh strainer, and then pour it back in to your pot. Add your sugar and then cook it until it reaches the consistency that you want. So for the smaller pot where I'm making a syrup, I will cook it less time until the sugar is dissolved. Then for the larger one, to get it to have that whole jellied texture where it holds together, you can pour it out of the jar and then slice it. You want to cook that until it hits 220 degrees, no less than that, because if it's less than that, it will not hold its shape where you can slice it. Now, of course, you don't want to go too far over, but I would err on the side of over than under 220 degrees. But this just makes the best cranberry sauce. So I will put that recipe in the description below, along with every other recipe, if I have one, for what I am sharing in the video. Now I will be juggling a few different tasks in the kitchen today because it is that time of year again, and it is Thanksgiving. We also have our holiday market at my church that our ladies group puts on, and I do a lot of baking this time of year. And so I am juggling yeast rolls, yeast bread, cranberry sauce, and then later I will be adding in cakes and pies. And I can't even remember what all I baked up this week. I had orders for bread from my personal where I sell baked goods. I also took some to our holiday market. I took a couple of loaves of bread to our holiday market and rolls. And then I took some Coca-Cola cakes, which I don't think that I filmed for this video because I shared them in my last video. But I was asked to make a few more of those. And I bake a lot of pies for our holiday market. I do the sweet potato, pumpkin, and pecan pies. And sometimes I do apple for our holiday market. But thankfully, someone else took those on this year so that I didn't need to do that. And we actually have several pie bakers in our group. And most of them make apple pie, so that's super nice. I need a little break after all of this, so let's make a cranberry sweet tea to take outside, read a book, and sit on the porch for the rest of the afternoon. I'm adding in about a tablespoon of my cranberry syrup, which was a little thicker than I planned, but that's okay. And then filled my cup the rest of the way up with sweet tea, added some cranberries and a slice of orange, and had a nice little afternoon treat. And we are back to juggling several things at once in the kitchen today to get the pies and cakes done. I think I'm just showing the pies here, and I'm not going to read off the recipes because I will just put them in the description because this is 3 separate pies and it can get a little crazy. So the first thing I did was I started my sweet potatoes to boil. And so I peeled and chopped and then got them in the pot so that they could be boiling while I made everything else. Now, my oven isn't humongous, but I had like 8 pies that I needed to get in, so I had to time these right, and a few of them kind of got timed weird, but that's okay. So I'm starting with the pecan, and I like to make mine without corn syrup, so that's why you see a bottle of maple syrup sitting there beside me. But I'm mixing this up and filling my pie crust and getting that in the oven, and it takes a little bit to bake, so I just kind of got things in the oven and then prepped the others while they baked and had a little bit of time in between. Once those pecan pies were in the oven, I moved on to pumpkin. So I bake all of my pumpkin myself, usually butternut squash, but also whatever pumpkins I have in the house. And I bake them, roast them, and then blend them until they are really, really smooth. So that's why I was getting pumpkin puree out of my blender. Now here I definitely picked a bowl that was too small, so I'm going to have to swap it out and get one that fits, because I need to add more milk or cream. I think I had just done milk here because we buy our milk raw locally, and the Jerseys have way more cream than standard whole milk, so I just use the whole thing. So I added that in, and then there's eggs and spices and sugar, and I am getting that mixed up. And then I will put this in the fridge until I'm ready to pour it into the pie shells and get it in the oven. And you can see the perfect timing of my dad walking in my front door as I was struggling to try and get the oven open to put my pumpkin pies in. So he came in and opened the oven door for me.